John 5, verse 30.
Which was?
Why is Jesus saying that I can of my own self do nothing when he's actually God himself?
Exactly. Great question. The argument here is that the Jews are saying that you have a demon, that you are not working with God, you're working against God. And Jesus' response is here, look, if I can of my own will do nothing, except through the will of the Father. In other words, he doesn't have a separate will from the Father. Insofar as what he wants to see accomplished, what he wants to see done, he's not standing against his Father's will. So the point he's trying to make is, no, I'm not the devil. I'm not anti-God. I proclaim God. I do his works. I do these healings. I'm not against him. I'm with him. That's the point he's making. And we can read further into that and say, oh, he's not God. But if you do that, you're ignoring the context. You have to let the context speak. And where the context is clearest, that's where exegesis should be the strongest. So you need to read the whole book before you try to pull a part out and exegete it. And I'm not saying cherry picking is necessarily a negative intention. It's just what happens when you've exegeted the Quran that way for so long. So we have to make sure when we read John 17, which you referred to, that we also read John 14, where in John 14, Jesus says, when I am gone, whatever you pray in my name, I will hear it and I will do it for you. Jesus is saying, when I'm gone, so he's not there, he can hear people's prayers, so he has to be omniscient. And I will do it for you, omnipotent. Right there, same discourse. We can't divorce the two. It's the same discussion. In the same way, we cannot leave out John chapter 1. When John writes his gospel, he expects everything that you read in there to be interpreted through his introduction. The introduction of John's gospel is vitally important. For example, my book that I wrote, I don't know where it went. If you don't read the prologue of that book, you're not going to get a lot of it. You're not going to get a lot of it. You have to read the prologue. It explains the rest. In the same way, John chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 18 is the prologue of John's gospel. What does it say? It says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God. So you have this thing that is the Word. It was with God, and it was God. Already you're having the setup for the Trinity in John chapter 1, verse 1. And then it says, nothing was made in this world apart from that Word. That means the Word is, in a sense, the Creator. John's telling you right off the bat, no matter what you read in John's Gospel, the Word should be understood to be the Creator of this universe. It was created through Him. And then it says in verse 14, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld His glory. He makes it clear this Word is Jesus. And in verse 18, if you have a good translation of the Bible, verse 18 makes it clear that this Word is the only begotten God. That's how you're supposed to read the rest of John's Gospel. So any verse we take should be read in that light. Any verse we take should be read in that light.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.